Hello and welcome to your Cultural Bite from Oxford University Press. This is all about British food for our primary learners today. Let me introduce myself. My name is Helen Lindsay and I am an ELT consultant for Oxford University Press. I'm speaking to you today from my house in Barcelona, here in Spain. So welcome everyone. Before we get started, something important to remember is that you can pause the video at any time to repeat a section if you didn't understand. All right, let's get started. Now, British food. I want to ask, have any of you ever been to Britain? Maybe you have visited London. My next question is, what was the food like? Did you like it? Did you not like it? It's okay if you didn't. We're going to look at lots of examples of British food today. Before we do, let's take a look at where we buy our food. First up is fruit and vegetables. We buy our fruit and vegetables from the greengrocer. This is the name of the shop and the name of the person who sells the fruit and vegetables. We buy our bread from the bakery, our fish from the fishmonger, and like the greengrocer, it's the name of the shop and the person who sells the produce. Lastly, we buy our meat from the butcher. Well done if you knew these already. Now, let's take a look at some examples of British food, but in particular, what children like to eat in Britain. What do you think are the top 5 children's meals in Great Britain? Think about the food that you like to eat. I'm sure it's the same. Let's take a look together. The favourite children's meals are pizza, chicken nuggets, hamburgers, macaroni cheese, that's my favourite, and a favourite of everyone in Great Britain is fish and chips. Of course! Fish and chips is so popular that you can have it in very many different ways. Let's take a look at the ways that you can eat your fish and chips in Great Britain. You can have your fish and chips with mushy peas. Mushy peas are the green vegetable you can see here. It looks a bit like guacamole, but trust me, it's mushy peas. You can have your fish and chips with curry sauce if you like your food spicy. You can have it with ketchup or mayonnaise. And one thing almost everybody has on their fish and chips is salt and vinegar. All right, you can choose the best way for you to have your fish and chips. Let's take a look now at the first meal of the day, breakfast, the most important. What do you have for breakfast? Tea, toast, cereal maybe? We're going to take a look now at a full English breakfast. A full English breakfast looks like this. Let's take a look at all the ingredients together. A fried egg, bacon, sausages, toast, baked beans, mushrooms, fried tomato, and a cup of tea. Now, I have a task for you. Here we have a list of all of the ingredients of a full English breakfast. But there are 3 things in this list that are not included in a full English breakfast. Take a moment, look at the list, and see if you can identify the 3 things that are not in a full English breakfast. Good luck. How did you do? Let's take a look together. Which three things are not in a full English breakfast? Well, there's no fish, first of all, there's no ham, and thirdly, there's no fruit. That's far too healthy. A full English breakfast is a real treat. People have it sometimes on a Saturday or a Sunday morning, but you couldn't have it every day. It's very unhealthy. Now, let's take a look at the different ways we can cook our eggs. So we've seen a fried egg in our full English breakfast, but here we have examples of different ways that you can also have your eggs at breakfast. How do you like your eggs? Let's take a look at some examples. Soft-boiled, hard-boiled, scrambled, fried, and an omelette. I'm going to give you a minute and see if you can match the words with the pictures. Good luck. How did you do? Let's take a look together. First of all, our first picture is an omelette. Well done if you got that one right. The second one is a hard-boiled egg. The third is scrambled egg. Our next one is a fried egg. Of course it is. This kind of fried egg is called sunny side up because it has a sun right on the top. And the last one is a soft-boiled egg. Well done if you got these correct. Now, moving on from breakfast, it's lunchtime. And what do you think most people eat for lunch in Britain? I'll give you a clue. It's usually between two pieces of bread. It's a sandwich, of course. British people eat a lot of sandwiches at lunchtime. In fact, British people eat an average of 4 sandwiches a week. That's a lot. Now, can you guess the most popular ingredient for a sandwich? It's not very exotic. In fact, it's cheese. Cheese is the most popular ingredient for sandwiches in Britain. Now, most people have a sandwich during the week, but on a Sunday, they have something called a Sunday lunch, which is the roast. And a roast dinner can look like this. Here we have roast beef with peas, carrots, roast potatoes, and something called a Yorkshire pudding. It's called a pudding, but it's not sweet. A Yorkshire pudding is made from eggs, milk, and flour. The other thing that you have in a Sunday lunch like this is a sauce, a brown sauce that comes from the juices of the meat. And if you don't know, this sauce is called gravy, and it's an important ingredient for a Sunday roast. Now, next up, we're going to take a look at all the different meats that you can have for your Sunday roast. And the reason is that because the animal is different from the meat. Let's take a look. A cow becomes beef. A sheep becomes lamb. Chickens becomes chicken. It's the same. It doesn't change. And lastly, a pig becomes pork or ham when it's a meat. All right. Is anybody else feeling hungry? I know I am. Which English food would you like to try? Maybe roast beef or fish and chips? Have a think and tell your teacher. On behalf of myself, Helen, and all my colleagues at Oxford, thank you for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed this cultural bite. In the meantime, stay home and stay safe. Bye for now.